We have already been introduced to algebraic expressions, but now we're going to have algebraic expressions that also have decimals. And so really, we just have to remember to combine like terms if we're trying to add or subtract values that have variables. So this 4.4x and this minus 2.9x are like terms because they both have x and they're both to the first power. So I would combine those two. Obviously this one's subtraction and this one's addition or positive. So I'm going to find the difference between those two. So 4.4 minus 2.9 would give me how many x's I have. I would have to borrow. 14 minus 9 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I have 1.5 x's. For y's, I've got a positive and a positive. So I'm going to add those values together. 3.92, 9.09. We're going to add. 2 plus 9 is 11. That would give me 10, carry the 1, and that would give me 13. And so I would have plus 13 and 1/100th y. For example B, I have an x squared and an x and a constant, which means it doesn't have a variable. So as much as I would love to simplify this further, I can't simplify it because all three are not like terms. So if they asked me to simplify, I would either rewrite this expression or say this cannot be simplified. Try these two questions on your own, then press play to see how you did. For the first question, I've got two x squared values that I can add together, and I have two x to the first values that I can add together. So I'm going to add 2 and 3600ths and 1 and 9900ths. Combine those together. 6 and 9 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 plus 9 is 13. Carry the 1, and I get 4 and 35/100ths x squared. For the other two, they're x to the first. Again, they're like terms, but notice I've got a positive and a negative. Also notice that the negative is larger than the positive. So we had one of these before. Even though the 3.92 came first, I'm going to put the 4.07 on top because I need to find the difference between the two, and to find the difference, I have to put the larger number on the top, even though that's a negative. Subtracting, I get a 5. I borrow to get a 1. So I get 0.15 or 1500ths. Because the larger number was negative, the answer is negative. And so that would be my simplified expression. If you wanted, you could also have a plus negative there. And now these three are all like terms, so I can combine all three together. But I do have a minus and a plus, so I'm just going to go left to right. I'm going to start by taking my first value minus my second value. Notice when I'm doing the calculations, I'm not paying any attention to the variables. I just make sure I add the variable on to the end. So 6 minus 8 doesn't work. I have to borrow from 7 to make it 16 minus 8. 6 minus 2 works just fine. 15 minus 7, or if you need to borrow, that works too. 15 minus 7 gives me 8. So that gives me 8.48, but now I have to also add my 9 and 5100ths. So 8 plus 1 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 plus 8 is 17. So I have 17 and 9900ths y. That would be my final answer.